Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shah, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and to those elders that taught our elders this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother Yakar Aben from Great Millstone, Houston, and just wanted to come back with another quick lesson. You know, uh, well, I'm going to start out with the scriptures. We're going to start out right here. It says, this is Proverbs 3:31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Like, this is a commandment that the Lord gave Israel, you know, envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. But we're coming up on a time of the year where we have taken on the ways of the heathen. You know, this is I mean, the the oppressor has duped us into celebrating, his pagan holidays. And it goes way back. It goes way back. It goes all the way back to, you know, before our Yahweh Shah was on the scene. You know, there is well, let's get into it. Okay, so this is Acts chapter 12 and verse 4. And it says, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the quart, quarter, quarter, quarter neons of soldiers to keep him, intended after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Okay, so we're gonna look up this word Easter right here, because here this is March 2024. At the end of the month, I believe they're they celebrate a holiday called Easter. But okay, this word here, this is the only instance in the Holy Scriptures where it says Easter, and we're gonna look up this word. It says Pasach in the Greek, G3957, and it says a Chaldean origin, compared to H653, the Passover, the meal day, the festival of the special sacrifice connected with it. It says Easter, but then it says Passover. So we're gonna get this word. Okay, it says Pasach. Pasach. So it says Passover. Passover, sacrifice of Passover, animal victim of the Passover, festival of the Passover. So if we know that we should know that the Passover is outlined in Exodus chapter 12. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. I don't want this to be lengthy, but there's a lot of information that needs to come out. So let's see, Exodus 12. Okay. Oh, come on now. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's like 51 verses. We'll get it though. I'll read the whole thing. I'm not tripping. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to his house, and of their fathers a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbors next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls, every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs and with the purtenance thereof. It says, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Yahweh's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the house where ye are, and where I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. It says, Exodus 12 and 14, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to Yahweh throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be a holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days there, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your house. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. Okay, so this is the festival that was being talked about in Acts chapter 12 and verse 4. But they erroneously used the word Easter. Okay, because Easter is a holiday that the pagans, uh, the pagans worship. This is a pagan tradition that has been crossed over into what the people practice today. I don't know anybody outside of this truth that uh, that goes 7 days, that takes all the leaven out of their house or eats lamb on the Passover. I mean, the Christians, they have Lent, which goes back to Tammuz, 40 days of weeping for Tammuz. They have hot cross buns, which is for Ishtar, or the queen of heaven. I mean, Israel has done all of these things, whereas the Lord said, envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. Jeremiah, let's get it. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Jeremiah 10 and verse 2. It says, thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. It says, learn not the way of the heathen. Okay, well, Easter is a heathen practice. I found this article. It doesn't say when it was written. I had this. Okay, it said published on 2005. So this is 2024, and this article has been up for that long. So let's. I don't know if I want to read the whole thing. Why not? Okay, why not? Let's get the background on it. Let's go ahead and read the whole thing. This is gonna be kind of lengthy, but hey, we're gonna go over it. It says, I remember when I was a kid, the fun we had at Easter. Most every year we would buy a dyeing kit from the grocery store and color hard-boiled eggs, many different shades and colors, on the Saturday evening before Easter. Waking up on Easter morning and finding a large basket for each one of us kids, though not quite equal to the thrills of Christmas morning, another heathen custom, was nevertheless exciting. Each basket would contain colored grass, usually green, and many colored eggs, which Mom insisted we eat within the first day or so, lest they should go bad, and lots of jelly beans and small chocolate bunnies and candies. The prize item, a large, sometimes solid, sometimes hollow, chocolate Easter bunny. We would also get dressed up special. That's we we would also get dressed up special that day for church. The girls had brand new spring dresses and big hats, and I, as a small boy, dressed up in a suit and a hat. My dad would always want to take a picture of everyone dressed up holding their Easter baskets full of the goodies. So we would line up on the front steps and pose for our best smile. And I'm sure, if you grew up in the Christmas church, this is when everybody shows up, and they go to the church, and all of those members that only show up once a year, they got their brand new Easter suit on and their Easter dress, and they got I mean, this is not what was spoken about for the Passover. The Passover had nothing to do with Easter bunnies or baskets or skirts, or new clothes. But this is how we have learned the ways of the heathen, and have started to practice his ways. Okay, so let's keep reading. It says, Sunday services that day were special too. The church would usually be packed with all the regulars and the folks who, out of some sense of obligation, would show up only on Christmas or Easter. Yeah, just like I said, the church, the Harlot House is packed full on Easter for that all of those people that you know that never show up. All of those people are all that never show up. They're there that day. That's yeah, standing room only. But anyway, and this is a pagan holiday. It says, oh, okay. It says, I guess they figured that it would be better to go at least a couple of times a year than not at all. God would have to look at that act of righteousness for some sort of favor. After all, it was a celebration of the resurrection of the anointed, or so we thought. Yeah, that is straight up, or so they think. What we were doing was in the line with a tradition which the Christian church had been doing for over 1600 years. Now, that kind of long history is hard to argue with. We had supposed in some moment of reflection that even the apostles of Yahushua had celebrated Easter just like we were doing. Well, a little bit of research coupled with a sobering realization that traditions are not always from our Creator have proved us wrong in our assumptions, and shocking were the results of our investigation. Yes, when I first heard, what this was all about, I was appalled. I was appalled that no one took the time to research what they had me doing my whole childhood. My whole childhood, this was a thing, it's crazy because nobody thinks about it anyway. They said, well, it's you got Good Friday, and the Lord was in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights, right? So you got Good Friday, so that's so let's say the Lord was put to death at Friday at sundown. So sundown Friday, the Saturday sundown is one day. Then from Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown is 2 days. So how do you get 3 days out of Good Friday to Easter Sunday? But that's a whole nother another thing. So let's just go ahead and keep reading this article. The celebration of Easter is not biblical after all. The Torah, Elohim's, or it should be Elohim, or the God's instructions to his convert people, does not teach the celebration of Easter. Yahweh, I don't know what this is. Yasha, I don't know, but it's Yahweh. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's name is Yahweh, not whatever this is. Never taught his disciples to celebrate Easter, nor did Shaul, the Apostle Paul, or any of the other prophets, apostles, or disciples in the Bible. The celebration of Easter is not in the Bible because it is not from our Maker. So we're gonna get into this article. I mean, it's pretty informative. It's not hard to find information about the customs of Easter. It turns out that Easter is an old pagan worship day which Yahweh hates. Our modern day version of Easter is just a remark of some very ancient, a remake of some very ancient pagan traditions and practices. If the Christians would really think about the source of Easter, he would most assuredly adore it. For the word Easter is derived from the ancient name Ishtar, a pagan goddess and an abomination to our Creator. She is also known as Ashtaroth, Salaki, Ashtar, Astarte in historical literature, and as Astaroth in the scriptures. Samuel said to all the house of Israel, if you are really turned to Yahweh with all your heart, remove from among you the foreign Elohim, the foreign gods, and the images of Ashtaroth, give your hearts to Yahweh and serve only him. Then he will deliver you from the hand of the Philistines. So the people of Israel, Yasha'Allah, I mean, all of these are misspellings of these words, but I'm just filling in the blank, you know, just filling it in with the true names. Remove the Baals and images of Ashtaroth, and they served only Yahweh. So that was 1 Samuel 7:3 and 4. It says, then they cried unto Yahweh, saying, we have sinned, for we have forsaken Yahweh, and have served the Baals and the images of Ashtaroth. Now deliver us from the hand of our enemies, so that we may serve you. But the Lord is, I mean, the people are, Lord's people are stiff-necked. We're going to go ahead and get that account here in Jeremiah, because they, the Lord already made the decree based on, what they were doing with this Ishtar bullshit. But yet, in today's society, nobody really reads. If you want to hide something from an Israelite, put it in a book. Guess what? It's right here in the Holy Scriptures. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna start. We're gonna start up early. This is Jeremiah 44:4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor inclined their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn incense unto other gods. This is we're talking about this Easter, Ishtaroth. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, the power of hosts, the power of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, in that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. And I mean, that's the same exact thing is going on today. Here at the end of this month, there's going to be all kinds of Israelites hiding eggs, you know, hiding eggs for their children and dressing up and going to these harlot houses, you know, and this is totally against the scriptures. This is all done for the Queen Mother of Heaven, you know. But if you have them tell you, well, that's not what I believe. This is what I. It doesn't matter what you believe. The scriptures say you shouldn't learn the way of the heathen. You shouldn't be following after their ways. You shouldn't be doing this shit. But you know, Israel is a stiff-necked people. It says, okay, so let's get into it. They are not humbled even until this day. Neither have they feared nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. Israel is stiff-necked. They don't want to listen, and they won't walk in the way. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be in execration. There's it says, and they shall be an execration. Let's get that word. I looked it up earlier. It's Allah. It says oath of covenant, curse from God, curse. I looked it up. Let's look. Okay, yeah, there it is. Execration, the noun execration means an angry denouncement or curse. So the Lord says, hey, he's gonna send an and they shall be an execration, or basically he's declaring he's gonna send a furious curse on them, and an astonishment, and a curse, and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there, for none shall return, but such as shall escape. For all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee. And that's the same thing that Israel is doing now. The prophets have been sent out, you know, like the Lord said here in Jeremiah. He sent out his prophets. It says, howbeit I sit unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them and saying, do not do this abominable thing that I hate. And that's what the prophets are out on the streets doing. We're telling the people, hey, stop doing the things that the Lord hates. But what does Israel say? What does Israel say? Right here, Jeremiah 44:16. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. That's Ishtar, the queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. It says, and when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her, and to pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. So I mean, we this is what this is. I mean, and it's still going on today. I mean, you know, the males have kind of left that over to the women, and the women are still to this day, oh baby, you know, we got to get an Easter suit, we got to get an Easter basket, you know, we got to have Easter egg hunts, and then the men just go along to get along when they know that their wives are doing evil. But Salaki, let me don't. So we're gonna go back to this Ishtar. Okay, it says, there can be no doubt that the images, statues, and idols of this offensive goddess of fertility was an offense to Yahweh. Israel, in their rebellion against their creator, worship this woman, Easter. What makes the modern day Christian think that the festival honoring Easter, Ashtaroth, now brings a smile to Yahweh's face. The last time I looked, Elohim, which is Elohim, or Allah, which means God, or the power, the powers, wants us to have nothing to do with the customs and practices of the pagans in worshiping their gods. He does not want us to worship him by using pagan days, dates, customs, and practices that include the festival, which is in honor of Ashtaroth, which is Easter. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and this is a lot. This is a lot, but we're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through it. Easter is filled with detestable practices, including the slaughter of innocent babies, which Yahweh hates. John Michael Rood very succinctly tells us what's wrong with Easter in his cut to the chase, in your face, in a nutshell summation of that springtime festival. The Saturnalia originated as the birthday of Tammuz, the bastard son of Semiramis, the widow of Nimrod, of biblical evil fame. After Sham cut Nimrod in pieces, anyway, Babylonian legend insists that he ascended into the heavens and became the son of the Most High himself. The rays of the sun implanted the seed into his widow, and presto, the son of the sun god was miraculously conceived, and was the adoration of the mother and the child evident in every culture on earth. On the winter solstice, Tammuz was born, as were most of the traditions surrounding the child mass season. Tammuz, the reincarnation of the sun god Nimrod, was killed in a hunting accident when he was gored to death by a wild boar in his 40th years. Those who worship the son of the sun god then set aside 40 days of weeping for Tammuz. They celebrated Lent, one day for each year of his incarnation, in which they would deny a worldly pleasure for his pleasure in the afterworld. See Ezekiel 8. We're not going to go to that. You can go to it on your own. It says, after many years, his mother, Semiramis, died. The gods looked favorably on the mother of God. Oh, wow. And sent her back to earth as the spring fertility goddess, always depicted as an ex, ex, exaggeratedly endowed, bare-breasted queen of sexual desire. Semiramis, the queen of heaven, yes, yes, the children of Israel baked hot cross buns. You know, I know a lot of the tribes that come from the islands, they still do this to this day. They have an Easter ham, and they make hot cross buns, and this is what they were doing back in in Jeremiah's time. This is what they were doing, the same thing over and over. But the queen of heaven was born again as the goddess Easter, or Ishtar, as she emerged from a giant egg that landed in the Euphrates River at sunrise on the Sunday after the vernal equinox. To proclaim her divine authority, she changed a bird into an egg-laying rabbit. As the cult developed, the priest of Easter would impregnate young virgins on the altar of the goddess of fertility at the sunrise on Easter Sunday. A year later, the priest of Easter would sacrifice those 3-month-old babies on the altar at the front of the sanctuary and dye Easter eggs in the blood of the sacrificed infants. So these Easter eggs that we're hiding, or not we, because we don't do that bullshit. That these Babylonians have taken on the ways of their oppressors, and now they are mimicking what has been done for thousands of years. Like I said, a year later, the priests of Easter would sacrifice those 3-month-old babies on the altar at the front of the sanctuary and dye Easter eggs in the blood of the sacrificed infants. And this is the practice that I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. We just do it for the kids. We hide the egg, we color the eggs for the kids. Okay, well, right here is telling you where this comes from. Now, you can believe it, or you don't have to believe it. It doesn't really matter. The scriptures say that we're not supposed to take on the ways of the heathen. And if you don't believe that that's a heathen way, then you're definitely in the wrong. But let's go ahead and read this. It says, the 40 days of Lent, or weeping for Tammuz, starts the Easter fertility season. The festivities culminate on Easter Sunday, when the priest of Easter slaughtered the wild boar that killed Tammuz, and the entire congregation would eat the ham on Easter Sunday. Wow. I mean, I'm not going to go with, because they got a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, well, let's read it. Okay, it says the whole modern day season of Lent is the carryover of the 40 days of weeping for Tammuz, and Yahweh hates this. Yahweh hates all that is associated with Easter season, especially when we try to pass it off as legitimate worship of the master Yahweh Shah. No, they been ooh these names. It said another aspect of the Easter season is the so-called Good Friday. This is believed by Christians to be the day that Mashiach or the Anointed died on the cross and was buried. Theologians do a lot of interpretive gymnastics to arrive at a Friday death of the Messiah, followed by a Sunday morning resurrection. I already talked about that. You can't get 3 days out of that. It said they do gymnastics, interpretative gymnastics. This flatly contradicts what the Messiah himself said about the length of time he would be in the grave. He specifically and repeatedly instructed his disciples that he would be in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights. Yeah, I mean, I already stated that. So Friday was not, in fact, the day the Messiah died, but it fits really nicely with the activities which were traditionally practiced by the pagans on Friday. Thus, it's convenient for Christians to force fit the death of Mashiach, the Anointed, into a Friday frame because Friday and Sunday were significant days when the pagans practiced the worship of their god idols. Friday was the pagan day honoring the fish god Dagon. Scripture speaks of Dagon, the fish god. I'm not going to go into all of that. I mean, really, this has gone a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but hopefully this has been edifying because this pagan day of Easter has nothing to do with the scriptures. And going back to the law, statutes, and commandments, we read over Exodus chapter 12, what is supposed to take place on the first month of the year on the 14th day. The eating of the lamb, but that has nothing to do with Easter. But yet Easter has hijacked the Passover even to the point to where they put the word Easter in the Bible when it's supposed to be Passover. I mean, with that being said, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles and the men that taught our elders and apostles the great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying to the elect. I'd like to say Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah.